Imagine the most beautiful place on Earth. Mountains so high they reach far above the clouds and seemingly touch the heavens. Land where lakes are a blue so pure you rub your eyes, convinced your mind is playing tricks on you.
What is my life?
A place where plants and wildlife flourish in all shapes and sizes, some of which you have never seen with your own eyes. Where ice hides in the shadows despite the warmth of a summer day. A place like this can't get any more perfect, right? I hate to tell you, but you're wrong. Because Glacier National Park in Montana just got thrice more epic. 3 members of one family brave the extreme elevations, the erratic weather conditions,
We're definitely the coolest kids on the mountain.
the ever-present threat of grizzly bears,
3 people walk into a forest. I have our belt. See, I'm not the only one with a big brain in my family.
for a once-in-a-lifetime chance to see the most beautiful place on Earth with their own 12 eyes. My sister wears contacts, but she's a glasses wearer through and through. Don't let those adorable brown eyes fool you. Not one of us can see a thing. Natural selection, as well as luck of survival, will be put to the test throughout the course of this adventure.
That was the sounds of nature right there.
You gotta be careful out here, guys.
Before we begin, allow me to introduce you to the amazing new characters to this series. Number 1, Marlena, kid sister, compass reader,
It keeps moving every time I walk.
and smoothest walker in the group. Also, she was annoyingly good in front of the camera, and some sister jealousy is totally happening. Not cool, Marlena. Number 2, Dad. The savior of the dicey hiking trail, pulling us to safety. The grizzly scarer. And our fearless leader, acting as bear bait, because I was being a scaredy cat and totally didn't want to lead the troops. But this man right here blazed the trail so we could goof off in the back.
Nothing happened back here.
Just a text message.
And number 3. Well, you guys all know me by now. Angie, girl who likes to do dumb things around the country, such as sticking her feet in glacial water with big chunks of ice floating all around.
This might be one of the dumbest things I've ever done.
And now, a quick recap of how the heck we ended up here all together in Montana. I've returned home from the West in late July, following a rather short and half-hearted attempt at nomadic travels in the summer. Truth was, my heart just wasn't in it, which it took me a while to admit to myself. Pride and all that good stuff, you know. But I'll tell you more about that in a later video, maybe. But here's a little summarization. I realized I was ready to say goodbye to endless solo travel, because I've received what I was searching for from it. And frankly, I am bored of my own company all the time. No offense. To me, I suppose. There's only so many days you could spend talking to yourself before it starts to feel questionable. Anyway, I jumped into my car and drove 42 hours straight home. I couldn't get home fast enough once I finally admitted I was done. And I'm pleased to report I had the most lovely August, surrounded by all my favorite people. From camping trips with friends, to hanging out with my favorite dog, who licks the air way too much. I mean, come on, just look at this. It's nonstop. It's kind of weird.
What are we doing, Weez? What you think, Weez? You want to go on a road trip with me?
Oh, and the bunny being absolutely irresistibly cute as ever. To spending so much time with all my immediate family members. To shellfishing along the coast. Weird activity, I know. So many beach days. To duck rescue with Nick. For Bailey. to concerts and seeing my favorite band of all time, and successfully avoiding the mosh pit this time. To ziplining where I felt as cool as I looked. I felt revitalized by the warmth of the summer. But as the summer was winding down, I realized I was mentally and emotionally ready to start a different type of journey. But I was not okay starting it alone. That's when a few members of my family volunteered to help me get started so I didn't have to go it alone. Here's where our journey begins. North Dakota. Well, kind of. You see, Marlena and I were on a mission to pick up my father in Montana in 2 days' time, driving all the way from the northeast to the northern border of Montana to Glacier National Park. I only have one seat in my car, which I strategically left in there for moments like this, and Marlena volunteered to put up with me for the 36-hour drive. And yes, I'm aware she is a saint for dealing with me for that long, because I can be as obnoxious as I appear on the internet, especially after caffeine, which we consumed probably too much of.
Yes. You're really close to the edge, though. You get freaked out by that?
No, that doesn't bother me. It does concern the viewers, though. So, after a sleep-deprived 24-hour drive from the Northeast to North Dakota, we decided to stop at Theodore Roosevelt National Park right off of Interstate Highway 94, because it's literally right there on the way. Marlena hilariously could not remember the name of this park. She kept saying, "Where are we going? Thomas Jefferson Park? Or where are we going? George Washington Park?" Wrong president, Marlena. But it was here at Teddy Roosevelt National Park where I saw my first wild horses. One of them even crossed the street right next to my car, which was thrilling. And Marlena got stuck in her first bison jam. Exciting big sister moment right there.
Oh no. This was Marlena's first bison jam. Wow! We did it.
We didn't kill him.
It almost killed us.
While the park was beautiful, we didn't stay long because it was 92 degrees Fahrenheit, and both of us are prone to being cranky in the heat combined with the sleep deprivation.
Oh, you look pretty cool in the canyon, though. We're living off of cookies. We had to eat a cookie before we can do this very short hike.
Oh gosh. Look it. They're on my glasses.
What are these?
Those are little gnats. You're fine.
Ew, Angie.
Ew.
What are these?
I don't know.
And they're all over my shirt.
Ooh, yeah, it's crawling.
We gotta get back in the car?
Get off of me.
Your face is creepy.
Just the rattlesnakes.
Mama's gonna love this. This is just a personal video now.
On the very long drive, Marlena acted as my camera woman, capturing all the beauty of Montana as we drove through the length of the state. And I gave her a little taste of my world. The world of my hardcore addiction to huckleberries.
Well, Waymo and I got our huckleberry shakes. We're officially Montanians now.
She's selling it.
And we did get a huckleberry pie for Dad, so sorry, Dad, about the shakes.
Then finally, after a 36 grueling hours, we made it to the teeniest, tiniest airport to pick up the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend, Dad.
We have traveled 36 hours to huckleberry milkshakes later. And we are picking up our father from the airport.
I didn't capture too much footage from that night because we were all delirious from our travels. But we enjoyed a fantastic meal along with a couple huckleberry sours, which put us right to sleep. The next morning, we woke up before the sun had even risen. Drove the long drive to the entrance of Glacier National Park in the dark of the early morning. As we passed through the gate, we felt as if we had passed through the gates of reality into a fantasy world. As the sun began to rise, we noticed the mountains were shrouded by clouds. But as we ascended the mountain, we broke through the cloud cover and saw our first glimpse of these jagged peaks. It was the most breathtaking thing we had ever seen. The scene was set, a mystery. Clouds hiding the truth of just where we were standing. Just as the events that would unfold over the next 5 days remained a mystery to the three of us. But nevertheless, we took our first step into the unknown, and what we uncovered together over the next week is almost too beautiful to describe. So, I'll just show you, and drag it out over a very long, unnecessarily long, Glacier National Park series, because to be honest with you, I took way too much footage of this gorgeous landscape, and I have to plop it somewhere. Sorry, and you're welcome.